Hi, what's up, guys? Welcome back to my channel. It is Wednesday. So, jury selection for Diddy's sex trafficking trial went into its third day as the judge and lawyers kept working to find 12 New Yorkers who could be fair and unbiased, even if they already had opinions about him. Judge Subramanian spent Wednesday finishing up questioning nearly 100 potential jurors. Over the past 3 days, he's been asking them about their personal experiences with things like sexual assault and domestic violence, what they already know about the accusations against Diddy, and whether they can stay neutral and respect that Diddy is presumed innocent, even though that's been hard for some people because of how high profile the case is. Diddy was in court wearing a dark sweater over a white collared shirt. He watched as the potential jurors were sworn in and answered the judge's questions under oath. So before this week, the jury pool got questionnaires that ask things like, can they openly talk about sexual topics with other jurors? Have they or anyone close to them taken sexual harassment training? And whether they already have strong opinions either about Diddy or the alleged victims. In court, the judge followed up on a lot of those questions, especially when it came to what they already knew about the case. Some jurors said they had seen or heard about the surveillance footage related to the allegations, but many said they could still be fair and would only base their judgment on the evidence presented in court. One potential juror was added to the approved jury pool after being questioned about their social media use. Diddy's legal team brought up a meme they believe the juror might have interacted with online, but the juror said it was probably just from doom scrolling and mindlessly swiping. When the judge asked if they had seen anything during that doom scrolling that could make them biased against Diddy, the juror said no. Interestingly, this person actually went to the same high school as Diddy, though they graduated about 30 years apart. 30 years, okay? 30. Another potential juror was questioned for about 25 minutes, but he kept sighing and trailing off while speaking. The judge noticed he hadn't filled out all the questions on his juror form. The man admitted, I was tired. I was binging the new Star Wars series, Endor. It just came out. The judge laughed and asked, will you be able to concentrate or will you be too busy binging Endor? The juror replied, like I said, I was binging. I'm just being lazy. So even though federal prosecutors were concerned that he seemed unfocused and might have trouble staying disciplined during a long trial, the judge said his answers weren't bad enough to remove him. He did call him sleep deprived. Diddy's lawyer, Mark Agnifilo, even joked, I'm very curious to watch what he was binging. Then there was another potential juror who had an obvious conflict of interest. He was actually friends with the judge. They had worked together as co-counsel on multiple cases over the past 10 years. When he walked into the courtroom, the judge playfully asked, what is your opinion of the judge in this case? The potential juror smiled and said, he is fair, he is gregarious, and he is brilliant. So because of that relationship, the prosecutor said she was worried he could influence the other jurors too much. So yeah, he was dismissed. One juror who was admitted into the jury pool said she had seen the video footage released by CNN that shows Diddy assaulting his ex-girlfriend Cassie. She said the video made her feel like Diddy was guilty of domestic violence. But the judge reminded her that this case isn't about domestic violence. She responded by saying she would try to judge him based only on what actually happened in this case, and that she wanted to hear the full story behind the video. However, as the lawyers kept questioning her to see if she could stay fair, she made a comment that caught some journalists' attention. She said she believes people often jump on the bandwagon to claim something bad happened to them. So, in the course of 3 days, 45 people had been picked to move forward in the jury selection process. On Friday, both the prosecution and the defense will go through that group and decide on the final 12 jurors who will actually serve during the trial, along with 6 alternates just in case someone has to drop out. So today, Wednesday, 6 women and 5 men were approved after the judge and lawyers on both sides interviewed 22 potential jurors. Their ages range from their mid-20s to early 70s, and it's a pretty diverse group. One person works as a graphic designer, and another works in administration at the United Nations Counterterrorism Office. So before ending the court for the day, the judge reminded everyone that they are not allowed to read, watch, or listen to anything about the case outside of the courtroom, and they also can't talk about the trial with anyone. Also, the judge called out a lawyer who is connected to Diddy's defense team for making a disrespectful comment on a podcast. The lawyer had referred to the group of prosecutors working on the case as a six-pack of white women, and the judge wasn't having it. He said that kind of comment is totally inappropriate for someone who's a lawyer and an officer of the court. Mark Garagos, who's a well-known lawyer and also the father of Tini Garagos, one of Diddy's attorneys, made some controversial comments on a podcast he co-hosts with TMZ's founder, Harvey Levin. On the May 2nd episode, he called the racial and gender makeup of the 6-member prosecution team interesting. He also said that race might be an undercurrent in the trial, but that it wouldn't be part of Diddy's official defense. The judge, who is Indian, didn't take that lightly. In a private conversation with Garagos on May 6, right before jury selection started for the day, he told him that is something you shouldn't say, that no one should be saying as an officer of the court and a member of the bar. Then the judge added, referring to the prosecution in this case as a 6-pack of white women is outrageous. And that's a quote taken from the official trial transcript. Okay, so after that, the prosecutors sent a letter to the judge calling out Mark Garagos for being in the courtroom and accused Diddy's legal team of trying to secretly bring him on as an advisor. They said if he's going to be involved in any way, he should have to follow the same rules as all the official attorneys on the case. Mark Garagos denied he is part of the legal team. He said, "I'm here to support my daughter. Diddy is a friend." Meanwhile, Lisa Bloom, the attorney representing 2 of Diddy's accusers in several lawsuits and one in his criminal case, spoke about how many potential jurors have shared that they or someone close to them has experienced sexual assault. Since the charges against Diddy involve sex trafficking and similar crimes, the court has been asking every juror about their past experiences or connections to sexual assault or harassment. Almost every juror has said they have some kind of personal link to those issues. Lisa Bloom told a news outlet, "One thing that has made me sad sitting through the jury selection in the court is how many people say they have been the victim of sexual harassment or sexual assault, or somebody close to them has. It's still quite a large number. And if you break it down to the female jurors, even larger." By the way, opening statements are set to start on Monday, May 12, and the trial is expected to last around 8 weeks. So yeah, you guys, that is all. What are your thoughts on Diddy's day 3 of jury selection? Let me know in the comments. And don't forget to like, subscribe, and turn on your notifications so you don't miss any updates on this case, because I will keep updating you guys. Okay, like, subscribe, and all that good stuff. Share if you like, and I will see you on the next one. Peace.